Hello, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and welcome back to your November 2024 real estate update for Chino Hills, and San Bernardino County. Hi, I am your host, Thomas Ryan with Thomas Ryan Real Estate. I am a Southern California real estate agent based in Chino, California, with a pulse on all 5 Southern California counties. Today we have an insightful video for you based upon the previous month's market activities. In these monthly market updates, I will bring you statistics, information, and ultimately my personal insight on what's going on in the market, with the ultimate goal of keeping you well informed about our local real estate market. As always, we will hear from Benny Rabishin with Movement Mortgage, and this month he will bring us information about what's going on with interest rates and what the expectations are moving forward into 2025. After watching this video, should you have any additional questions about the market, about your specific property, or if you have aspirations of buying or selling a home, you can always reach me directly at 909-334-2049, or you can find me on all the social media sites. Just search Thomas Ryan Real Estate. All right, without further ado, let's get into the update. You may be hearing, and even I'm hearing from my colleagues across the country in different markets, that the number of available homes on the market is on a sharp and steady rise. Let's see if that's the case in our area. The short answer is, it really isn't the case where we live. Yes, we have seen some increases in the number of homes on the market, but these are slow and slight shifts. All markets saw a reduction in available homes on the market in November, with San Bernardino County seeing a 7% decrease, Chino a 3% decrease, and Chino Hills a 4% decrease. I would agree that yes, much of this slowdown is spurred on by the holidays. Now, if you look at the numbers from 2022 to 2024, you can see that we are still far below inventory levels from that time. We have quite a way to go to get to an ideal inventory level. So with the number of available homes on the market being down in November, that must mean the same for closed sales in November as well, right? Let's check it out. Yep, the closed sales numbers were down across the board and pretty significantly. We saw an almost 20% decrease in San Bernardino County, 25% in Chino Hills, and an astonishing almost 40% decrease in Chino. Again, much of this can be attributed to the holiday season. Not very many people want to list their home on the market. Not very many people want to buy a home or move during the holidays. And I can speak to this personally. I have had no less than 3 clients push their moves off to 2025. Speaking of the pace of homes selling, let's take a look at the median days on market for the month of November. As you can see, as evident by the upward sloping lines, the median days on the market went up in the month of November. San Bernardino County saw an increase by 2 days from 23 to 25 days. Chino also saw a 2-day increase from 15 to 17 days, and Chino Hills saw an increase by 3 days with a median days on market of 21 days. At risk of sounding like a broken record, I would definitely attribute this increase in median days on market to the holidays. While it didn't rise drastically, I would expect it to increase again in the month of December. However, come January, I would expect those numbers to start coming down. Now we know that fewer homes sold and at a slightly slower pace. But what about median price per square foot? Let's take a look. Wow, everyone has agreed yet again. As you can see, all sectors saw modest decreases in median price per square foot. San Bernardino County and Chino Hills saw nominal decreases, while Chino saw the largest decrease, from $429 per square foot, dropping below $400 to just $397 per square foot. After seeing the previous data, this should not come at a surprise at all. If fewer homes are selling and at a slower pace, we should expect the median price per square foot to come down as well, and that's exactly what happened. Speaking of home values, let's take a look at the median percent of original price received. In other words, What percentage did home sellers get in comparison to their original list price? Let's take a look. San Bernardino County home sellers saw 99.1% of their original list price. Chino sellers almost got exactly what they asked with 99.9% of their list price, and in Chino Hills, sellers received 99.2% of their original list price. This may be a little surprising for you because you may have expected, based upon the previous data we've talked about, for these numbers to be slightly slower. But this just goes to show you that even though demand has come down slightly, it is still there most definitely. The buyers that are in the market mean business and they're willing to pay top dollar. Okay, it is now time for the question that every homeowner has. What were the median sale prices in my neighborhood, and how does that affect the value of my home? Let's take a look. Quite honestly, these numbers are all over the board. San Bernardino County saw no change in the median sale price, remaining at $550,000. Chino saw a 3% decrease down to $719,000. And Chino Hills saw an approximate 10% increase with a median sale price of $1,050,000. That was the first median sale price increase in Chino Hills since June of this year. I think it's clear by now that we see that sometimes the holidays throw a little bit of a wrench in the progress of the real estate market. If you look over the course of the past year, we still see a modest and slow upward trend in home values. And there is no indication that this path will change, whether it's in an upward direction or a downward direction. So if you may be thinking about selling a home or maybe in the market to buy a home in the next few months, use this information to inform your decision. And lastly, on to the question, which is virtually on everybody's mind: what's going on with mortgage rates? We hear about the Fed dropping the federal funds rate, but what does that mean for my monthly mortgage payment? To answer that question, we have Benny Rabishin with Movement Mortgage. Take it away, Benny.
Hey, Thomas, as always, thank you so much for such good information. So let me add on to that when it comes to mortgage rates, to give you an idea of what's happened in the past month or so. Now, just to resort back to my previous updates, remember the Federal Reserve started cutting rates in September. And since then, we've had another meeting that happened last month in November, and they decided to cut again another 0.25%. So that's 75 basis points is what they've cut so far. We have another meeting this month. Right now, there's about an 80% chance they're going to cut rates again. Now, remember, the Federal Reserve cutting rates doesn't necessarily have a direct impact on mortgage rates, meaning when they cut rates 0.25% last month, it doesn't mean that mortgage rates dropped 0.25%. Mortgage rates are based on a different factor, right? We're based on mortgage-backed securities and bonds. The federal funds rate are short-term debt, so credit card rates, auto loan rates, home equity lines of credit. So it's completely different. Now, mortgage rates are indirectly tied. So we are watching to see the impact of the Federal Reserve dropping and what those has to rates. Now, in the past month or so, we've seen a little bit of a plateau, right? Rates right now are around 7% for a 30-year fixed. Now, what we believe is in the first quarter of 2025, some big reports come out in relation to employment as well as inflation. These are the two main factors that we watch to get an understanding of what the impact is going to have to mortgage rates. Now, some of the recent jobs reports have come out showing that our jobs market is actually doing okay. So when the job market is strong, this is not good for mortgage rates. With that said, we do believe that we have a little pain coming to the job market. We are going to see unemployment rise a little bit. This will be good for rates in the coming months. But for the past month or two, we've seen a little bit of a plateau, again, roughly in that high 6s or low 7% range. Now, being that I talk to a lot of buyers in this market, let me just give you the sentiment from most buyers. We just went through one of the biggest elections we've had in the history of the United States. A lot of people have kind of stepped on the brakes a little bit in regards to getting into real estate, right? There's a lot of volatility in the market. We had an election. We're now going into the holidays. So the sentiment from most buyers right now is just kind of holding off and waiting. Now, there's two different buyers in this market. Okay, so there are buyers that are looking for deals. Now, if you're looking for deals, typically the best time to do that is during the holidays. Why? Because most buyers come out of the market. They don't want to buy during the holidays. The other reason is any seller that's selling their house during these times is a motivated seller. Motivated seller is the terminology you want to know as a buyer. That means there might be some negotiating power. The other buyer is, and that is someone that's not ready in this market, that wants to wait for next year, whether it's rates to drop or school to get out or whatever that is. My thoughts are, as we start to see interest rates drop next year, that we're going to see a lot of demand come back into the market. So I think these deals or this negotiating power is going to be diminished as soon as rates come down. Now, we saw for a moment in time in August, rates drop about 1%. I saw a ton of buyer activity come back into the market. So now knowing that how hyper-focused people are on rates coming down, I think if rates drop 0.5% in the next 6 months or so, which I think is very possible, we're gonna see a lot of buyers come back into the market, which in turn is gonna cause the values of homes to continue to increase. So hope that's helpful for you guys. Next month, I'll let you know what happened with the Federal Reserve cutting rates, and as we go into the next year, you know what to expect in the first quarter. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you so much, Benny, for clarifying and for all of that great information on what is going on with our mortgage rates. We hope that you have found this information to be helpful, and if you have, please be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the Thomas Ryan Real Estate YouTube channel, or follow me on Instagram at Thomas Ryan Real Estate. Both are completely free, and it is very helpful for me to be able to get this information about our local real estate market to you and others. Again, always feel free to reach out to me directly. I can be reached at 909-334-2049, or feel free to drop your questions in the comments below, because we can help you and potentially others at the same time. All right, until next month, happy holidays and have a good day.